Right now in downtown St. Louis, protesters are sparring with police outside of City Hall. Our Ray Preston is there. We want to get right to him. Ray, what's going on?
Well, right now we've had a disturbance at City Hall in the south entranceway. If you would, Jason, go ahead and zoom over there. You can see the police that are on hand. Let me kind of backtrack a little bit this morning. This started at Keener Plaza. A group of demonstrators held a rally at Keener Plaza, marched to the old courthouse, then to the front of City Hall, where they tried to get in the south entrance. There was something of a scuffle at the south entrance doorway. Right now, Jeff Rainford, the mayor's chief of staff, joins us. Can you fill us in? What all exactly do we know right now as far as what's happening?
Well, it started out fine. I mean, they were at Keener Plaza, and we've done what we've always done. What we've said is we're going to let people have their say, and we're going to let them occupy spaces. They didn't have a permit, but we let them march in the streets. You know, we kept them safe. We kept everybody downtown safe, and they got to City Hall. And normally what's been happening in these situations is that we'll have a dialogue and we'll talk. Hey, what do you want to do? You want to occupy the rotunda? You want to do this? Well, instead of doing that, a small number of them charged through on the south entrance, and in fact there was a marshal inside, and there was a scuffle involving the marshal. So we have made 3 arrests. You know, the police officers have put on their heavy gear not to intimidate the crowds. There's been no intimidation. We let them walk through the streets of downtown, but they had to put it on in order to stay safe. This crowd is a little edgy. That's fine. That's their right to be, but it's also the police officers, our police department's responsibility to keep everybody safe. I think it's going to be okay. I think it was just a couple of a relatively small number of protesters who tried to charge inside the building. That I can tell that everybody else, while they are loud and they're making their voices heard, so far so good. And the same thing with our police. They've shown, again, like they have all week, they've shown incredible restraint, and I think they've done their job to allow people, again, they were out in the streets, they allowed that to happen. They are protecting the protesters, they're protecting the protesters' First Amendment rights, but they're also protecting property, including City Hall.
I noticed on the east side, what would be considered the main entranceway to City Hall, the wrought iron gates had chains and padlocks on them a few moments ago. This door was still open. What's going to happen the rest of the day at City Hall? Is it going to be open for business? You shutting down early? What's going on?
Well, I think we'll stay open for business, but it is the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, so there's probably not a lot of people inside and not a lot of business going on, so I don't think there'll be a lot of disruption. We're going to do whatever is necessary to keep people in City Hall safe, to protect property in City Hall, but to respect the rights of the protesters, and I think we did that. We allowed them to gather in Keener Plaza. Normally we would require a permit. We didn't do that. We allowed them to march in the streets. I think everybody knows we don't normally do that. So we've given them plenty of leeway to occupy space, but we have said all week we're going to give people leeway to express themselves, to gather, but we're not going to give them leeway to hurt people or to hurt property, and that's why police are taking the steps they're doing. I think it's going to be okay. It's a little unruly, it's a little ugly, but I don't think it's going to be. I think it's going to end up okay.
All right, thank you very much. Again, that's Jeff Rainford, Mayor Slay's chief of staff. He did say there were 3 arrests, and we can say that there was pepper spray used here a while ago as well. Let's go back to you now, Emily.
Okay, thanks a lot, Ray. And